welcome back everyone once again to our channel, Cooking with Love, Dishing with the Davises. I am of course Augustus, and unfortunately today my lovely wife Tamiko is feeling a little bit under the weather, so if you would say some prayers for her, we would greatly appreciate it. But even though we are down one, we're about to one up with this recipe today. We are doing baked mac and cheese, and it is not for the faint of heart at all. So grab your stomachs, come right along and enjoy this culinary adventure with us. Let's go. All right, let's start with the ingredients. Now, little side note, I am doing a giant batch of this baked mac and cheese, so you are more than welcome to feel free to cut this in half or adjust it as you need to. But as far as what we are doing today, we have got 3 boxes of large elbow macaroni. We've got, 24 ounces of American cheese, and I really love this Cabot brand of American cheese. The ingredients are pretty good on it. They're really good on it, and I like it better than Velveeta on a personal level. But you're more than welcome to use whatever it is that you want to use, but I'm just showing you what I use. So 24 ounces of American cheese. I've got a ridiculous amount of shredded cheese right here. This is probably 4 pounds of cheese. When I said this is not for the faint of heart, I truly meant it. But trust me when I tell you, it is going to taste great. So, and this is a variety of cheeses. For instance, this one, I've got the Cabot brand mac and cheese blend, which is the Alpine cheddar and the sharp cheddar. You see, I've got some mild cheddars here. In the back, I've got some other sharp cheddars and even extra sharp cheddar. So there's a lot of cheese there. And I also did put some shredded Parmesan cheese. Actually, that is Parmesan and Romano cheese. Gives it a nice flavor. So 2 sticks of salted butter, 2 16-ounce tubs of sour cream, and this is the Kelowna Supernatural brand. I am a huge fan of Kelowna dairy products. They're really very good. You're gonna need some milk, and once again, this is the Kelowna brand Supernatural. As you can see, it says organic cream top. It is flash pasteurized in small batches, but it is not homogenized, so the milk still has a cream top. It's absolutely delicious. It's great for drinking. It's great for putting in your cereal. It's absolutely fantastic for cooking. Some heavy whipping cream, a little bit of flour, and as I said before, I love the King Arthur brand of flour. Really good. And a pan to put it in. And this particular pan, it's a big giant roasting pan because I've got a huge batch of macaroni and cheese to make, but a probably 9 by 13 glass casserole dish, or a little bit bigger, should definitely work. And salt and pepper to taste. All right, as you can see right here, I've already boiled the macaroni noodles. I have drained all the water off, and I did toss a little bit of olive oil into the pasta. That way it just keeps the pasta nice and moist while we get everything else together. And just as a quick side note, I did go ahead and boil the noodles just slightly short of al dente. That way, by the time we get everything mixed up and by the time the macaroni bakes, it will be at just the right consistency. So just a little tip right there. All right, so now that we've got our pasta noodles already boiled, it's now time to make the roux. So we are gonna start with our 2 sticks of butter, and we are going to put that into a pot, just like so. And I've got the pot on about medium heat. like that. Spill a little bit of it on to the stove, but that's okay. So we're gonna let that butter melt. All right, now that our butter has melted, we're gonna start adding our flour. And probably, just to be on the safe side, maybe close to half a cup, but just gauge it as you go. So actually probably a little more than half a cup, to tell you the truth. But we're gonna put that in there. We're gonna get it mixed up really good. All right, now that we've got the roux to about this consistency, we are gonna go ahead and start adding our heavy whipping cream. Just little bits at a time. And I actually need to turn that down just a touch. Sorry about that. We're gonna add the heavy whipping cream and the milk, little bits at a time. I apologize for this. I am flying solo tonight. My lovely wife is down with a little bit under the weather. So we're gonna add the heavy whipping cream and the milk just to get it to a good consistency. All right, folks, I do apologize for that. I went back to the far shot so I could do this a lot easier and get a good camera angle. As you can see from this plate, I have taken all of the slices of cheese and gone on ahead and unwrapped them, and I'm gonna start slowly adding them into my roux mixture of butter, flour, heavy whipping cream, and milk. So we're just gonna start adding this slowly. And you just kind of feel it just go, a few slices at a time. Like I said, if you prefer block cheese like a Velveeta or something like that, you're more than welcome to do that. The only reason that I do this Cabot brand right here is because I really like the cheese, and I have not found that Cabot brand cheese, the American cheese, in a block form yet. Once I do, or if I find a good block form American cheese, I will definitely use that because it'll make the process a lot easier. But for now, that's what I do. So we're just gonna keep adding the cheese in here little bits at a time. And I will, what I will do is I will come back once the roux is done and the cheese is well mixed in. I will come back and show you what that looks like. But I will use all the American cheese in here, and I might go ahead and throw some of the shredded parmesan in here as well. But for sure, I will use all the American cheese in here. And the key is to get a good balance and a good consistency. So, you might have to, you might see as you're adding the cheese, it starts to get really thick. So you got to add some more milk to it to get it thinned out a little bit. I added the heavy whipping cream at the beginning while doing this, and what I do is I add the whipping cream to the consistency that I think, and then once I'm done with the heavy whipping cream. So as we're doing the cheese part of it, if I need to add anything, all I'm going to do is add more milk. So I will come back once the roux is completely done. All right, here is the finished product right here on the roux. Excuse my hand. But as you can see here, it's got a good consistency. It's not too thin, but at the same time, it is not too thick either. So, yep, that's what you want for your roux right there. And I decided this time I didn't add any Parmesan cheese. I just melted down the American cheese and just added milk, just consistently added milk as necessary, and the cheese just to melt it down to this perfect consistency. So now, on to the next step. All right, so now that we've got our roux done, we're gonna go ahead and add it in to the macaroni right here. And you just take the entire pot and just pour it all in there. Get you a good rubber spatula. Get all that super creamy goodness out of there. Yeah. That's the good stuff right there. I love making my macaroni and cheese this way with the roux, with the cheese roux. It's absolutely priceless and irreplaceable. It just, I love doing my macaroni and cheese like this. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna mix it up and we're gonna get the rest of our ingredients, okay? All right, now that we've got the roux mixed in, we're gonna go ahead and start adding in our other ingredients. So I'm gonna start by opening up the sour cream and mixing that in. Here's 1 tub. And here's 2 tubs. Go ahead and mix your sour cream in really good with the roux and the macaroni. Okay, so as I have added the sour cream to the macaroni and the roux, I realize that it is just a little bit thick. So I am gonna go ahead and take some milk and pour it in here just to thin it down a little bit, because as we add the rest of the cheese to the mix, it is definitely going to thicken up even more. So I'm just gonna add some milk just to thin it out a little bit, and that will go ahead and solve that issue. All right, now that we added the milk and thinned down our macaroni mixture a little bit, time to start adding cheese. So, by the way, once again, what is better than cheese, folks? More cheese. That's it. That's it. So I'm gonna start adding our cheese to the mix right here. And let's see, I've got the Cabot mac and cheese blend. So I'm gonna add that one. And quite frankly, I may not end up adding all 8 or 9 bags, however many I bought. We'll see. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and add this to it. And I like to go ahead and add 1 bag at a time, then stir it. Bag number 2. This one I'm doing the Cabot brand Seriously Sharp cheddar cheese right here. Bag number 3, gonna go with the Wisconsin Extra Sharp cheddar. And also a quick side note as well, when you thin your mixture out a little bit, it makes it a lot easier to stir in that cheese. So. Bag number 3. Bag number 4. It's gonna go with the regular sharp cheddar this time. For the 5th segment of cheese, I'm gonna go ahead and add this 8-ounce, no, I'm sorry, it's a 5-ounce container of the Parmesan Romano. Gives it a little bit different flavor. All right, so I went on ahead and added 5 bags of the cheese to the actual mix. So as large of a roasting pan that we're doing, I'm gonna go ahead and save 3 for the cheese topper, which we're getting ready to pan that up right now. All right, now that we've got the macaroni nice and panned up in this big roasting pan right here, went on ahead and evened it out. That's very important. Go ahead and even out your top, your surface right there. And now it's time to top it off with cheese, even more cheese. So I'm gonna get this started with the first bag of mild cheddar, and I like to go ahead and just sprinkle it on there as evenly as possible. And it's very important also on this to get your edges really good. Kind of like when you cheese up a pizza, it's very important to get the edges. Very important also on this macaroni and cheese cheese up your edges really, really good. Just like that. It's almost all that first bag. Bag number 2. And bag number 3. All right, as you can see from this top-down view right here, we've got this nice and very well covered with cheese. And by the way, didn't take much of the third bag to put on here because I just wanted to fill in some of the tiny little bits that I didn't quite get with the other 2 bags. But as you can see, this is nice and very well cheesed, and the edges are especially very well cheesed. That is a very, very key thing. So, time to put it in the oven. And as you can see, I've got the oven on 375 degrees. Now, if this recipe were halved, I would say probably put it on 350 in one of those, the 9x13 glass casserole dishes. 350 for roughly about 30 minutes, but a pan that size, I wanted to goose up the temperature a little bit, so I'm putting it on 375. I'll say roughly about 30 minutes. I'll let you know whenever we pull it out of the oven. Man, that looks absolutely delicious. The edges on the cheese starting to caramelize. I didn't want to leave it in too long because my oven has some quirks about it. So it's sometimes if I leave it in a little too long, it where I want it to caramelize, it actually gets a little overcooked. So I went on ahead and pulled it. This looks absolutely delicious. So we are going to be taking a bite out of this very soon to see how it came out. And we'll be right back. Before I actually take a bite of this, I had to get a nice shot of me cutting into this. You hear that? That little bit of crispiness. Oh yeah, from the cheese caramelizing. This is a deep pan too. It's gonna get a small portion of this. Let's see how this looks when it comes out. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's just goodness right there. Time to dig in. I don't even need to say any more about this. It's just time to dig in to this delicious goodness. Let's see how it turned out, folks. Smells so good. I got no words for that. You need to try this. This is just basically a meal in itself is what it is. I do plan on making something with this off camera. Got some pork steak in there, probably season them up and put them in the oven and maybe make some broccoli with it, something like that. But you really don't need anything else with this if you didn't want to. This thing is a meal in itself. It is incredibly rich and it is very, very filling. So I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this delicious goodness. I thank you so much for allowing me to visit with you, visit whatever devices you're on, whether that be Android, iPhone, tablet, or even a desktop. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming along this culinary adventure with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please put a like on this video, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so that you can receive notifications of when a brand new video is posted. So I thank you so much, and on behalf of my lovely wife who's under the weather, I thank you for her. And from our home of loving, straight to your oven, we wish you the best of nights, best of days, best of weeks, months, and years. Bon appetit. Love you all. Take care.